everyone for making it here in this Saturday evening. I know everyone are busy and making time for this. My name is Aditya, and I'll be your host for the next couple of hours. Uh, Institute of Product Leadership welcomes you all for the Skillathon Predictive AI. And we are happy to have you all. And our participants will present their innovative solutions, and our esteemed juries will evaluate them on the key parameters. This is an event where the shortlisted participants from the cohort, their hands-on project and the portfolio towards the assurance of skills to demonstrate their learning journey. And the mantra of IPL is learning by doing, and that will be executed in today's Skillathon. Before we go further, I would like to let you know what Skillathon is. Skillathon is an event where the top shortlisted performing learners demonstrate their understanding of a skill and application of the same in the context of real-world product idea as a part of their learning journey to industry practitioner and other learners. So at IPL, the examination has been replaced with Skillathon as well, as we believe in learning by doing. And let us welcome today's esteemed juries. Thank you once again for being here and making time for this event. Vivek, give me a minute. My apologies for that. Okay, it is Sri Harsha, sir. Okay. So today we have our esteemed juries, Mr. Sri Harsha, Senior Product Manager, Technical Product Manager at Genpact, and Prapti Jain, AI Products at Uber. Welcome, sir, and welcome, Prapti, ma'am. So, if you you can talk about yourself for the few minutes to our audience. Over to you, sir.
Okay, just call me Sri Harsha.
Okay.
I've been with IPL for a very long time, and hi everyone. I am a product manager. I manage a lot of AP, accounts payable, and R2R related products, mostly on the agentic side. And I I've been in this for like 15 years. So that's about me.
Thank you, sir. It was short and sweet, and thank you. Prapti, ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, just call me Prapti. Hi, everyone. I'm Prapti, and I have been working in the product industry for quite some time. Most of my experience has been building around like AI products. I was like also with Krutrim, which was India's first AI unicorn, where we were actually building a lot of foundational models and AI SaaS products. Now I lead the core agentic AI product at Uber, where we are building like the AI product or the AI brain for our global systems. So yeah, that's briefly about it.
Thank you so much. So I'll come to the guidelines of today's Skillathon. We'll be having 10 minutes of time for each team and 5 minutes of Q&A. Juries can ask them questions, and you can also give them feedback in the given time frame. And we will also have a voting for the viewers as well. So once the presentation is done, viewers can also give the vote or the scores to the presenters. So presenters for the day, we have team one, that is Chirishri, Rohan, and Shilpa with us today. Chirishri, Rohan, and Shilpa.
Hey, hi, Aditya.
Hi, very good evening, team. So who is going to present now?
Sure. Cherishi, can you present?
Yeah, just
It-
give us-
Chirishri, right? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Rohan.
Yeah, slideshow at the top, if you can.
Just 1 second.
Okay, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes, Rohan.
Okay, so today we are going to present a concept called Refund Guard AI. It's a multi-modal eye for food delivery fraud. Next slide. Okay, now what is Refund Guard AI? Refund Guard AI is a digital investigator for food delivery refunds. Refunds is a very big line item, not just in food delivery, but across e-commerce, which flows directly into the PNL and also into the experience, right? Hence, a digital investigator, starting specifically with food delivery, will move beyond the blind approvals by cross-referencing a vision language module to see the evidence and a RAG to analyze the consumer history. And it will cross-reference these two and generate a precise predictive fraud score for every claim. Right? In terms of the business value, the impact is very straightforward. We will be able to plug revenue leakage due to fraud, remove human bottlenecks, and ensure that our loyal customers get a verified refund in seconds and not hours. Okay. Next slide. Right. So now if you imagine the few, while from a persona standpoint, the immediate persona for usage of this product is safety and trust teams and the customer support agents. But going forward, it can also be used to triangulate the restaurant from which the refunds are originating and use it as an input to the merchant success teams. Also for compliance and legal teams, it provides an unbiased refund decision and a framework with which compliance claims or legal claims can be defended. Right? So as I move to, let's say, the future roadmap can extend into photo spoofing, right? Where people generate circulated. So while what we are going to demonstrate is going to be the refund in terms of whether the claim refund is what the picture actually depicts along with the user persona, but it can be extended to stop photo spoofing with AI and also use of circulated images, AI generated images, etc. Right. So overall, refund guard from the current shape and form in terms of the demo can be extended to a cross-functional trust layer that will aid the legal team for unbiased audit trails. That will, of course, help the consumer support teams to either gratify or deny a refund, and also for the merchant teams to optimize the operations using real world claim data, right? So that's refund guard for you. Over to the prototype for to Chirishri.
Thanks, Rohan. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, right. So, as Rohan had said, the context for regarding our refund.ai app, right? So I'll just give a quick walkthrough about what our app is actually intending to build, right? So here, basically, the customer is coming here and, they're complaining that, okay, they're just saying, they're sending a text, right? That, okay, my food is, was completely smashed. Let's say my items were spoiled, etc. And the objective is that, these are the customers who are trying to gain a refund at the end of the day, right? So they're using the prototype, they're using the UI here, and they're either, submitting a text or, they're uploading an image and they're trying to gain a refund. So in the background, what happens is our model, which is being trained enough, right, with the subset of data that we have for these customer records, with the past, the customer records, the number of claims that have been submitted, the number of orders for each of these customers, right? It is going to generate a trust score, right? It has a trust score. And then finally, it is going to, the output of the LLM would be that it is going to generate the risk that is being associated with the products the customer is, asking a claim for it, right? And it actually uses, as you see it in here, it actually uses a chain of thought prompting as well, giving a deep dive reasoning into why, the reasons why the model thinks that the image that's being submitted by the customer is actually eligible for a refund or not. And as we see it in here, so this is the, at a high level, this is our, the AI processing pipeline that we have. We have three different stages in here. The first phase being the data ingestion phase, wherein basically the customer is, entering the text, etc., or they're trying to upload some, images. And in the background, we have a multimodal analysis in place where the model is trying to verify the images that is being submitted with the customer versus what is being trained against it, right? So we are using a concept of RAG in here to actually, generate so that the model generates the output, which is based on the data that's being trained for. And of course, the third phase being the, it's being routed to appropriate decision makers, where in cases if the model actually generates an output which is not actually comprehensive enough, or which requires human intervention. Now going forward, second, yeah. So this is a high level, a high level view about how are we planning to generate the synthetic data. So as we see here, basically we have, we are going to generate the synthetic data using, using text to image generative, implementation, and then we have local LLMs in place as well. And of course, we're using RAG in here, and we have different distribution of use cases, which Shilpa will be walking us through in the subsequent slides. Then coming on to the prompting, right? So we are using basically prompt engineering techniques for the LLMs to generate accurate responses for the text the user is actually entering in here. And you will see the score that's being generated as an output by the LLM. And of course, we are also taking into account the behavioral data of the customer, which the LLM holds. And then based on that, basically you will have that there will be a risk score that will be generated by the LLM. And it's going to, depict the output, which Shilpa will be walking us through more in the detailed prototype. And then coming on to the ethical and operational aspects of it, right? So we've tried to include what could be the ethical aspects that are being, or the ethical reasons that are being associated with it. So these are the number of reasons that we try to cover as many biases that are being possible when you're using an LLM, right? So, for example, it could be, a hardware, a phone hardware issue, or it could be data privacy issue, and so on and so forth. Now, going forward, I think I would like to invite Shilpa, who will be walking us through the prototype. So, Shilpa, should I stop sharing and you can share us?
Yes. Aditya, I would need the sharing permission, please.
Sure, Shilpa. Okay.
So this is our prototype. We have done, we had asked Gemini to help us with building the prototype. So behind the scenes here, we are using Llama 3.2 Vision. Just for prototype, we've used this. We've also tried plots on it and everything, but we were running out of tokens very soon because it is an image. So I'll take a different image now. We've also built a small database of customers, like 5 to 10 customers, where we have given a trust score behind the scenes for them. So this customer is a very high trust customer. So whenever I say a different customer ID or something, it will give me what is the trust score of that customer, what were the prior orders, total refunds, and so on. So the safety teams.
You have three more minutes, Shilpa.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. So the safety teams can come here, upload the customer, or give the customer ID, tell whatever was the customer's claim that he, my food is spilled, right? And they can upload the images provided by customer. Here I'm taking a image where the food was actually spilled, and this customer has a very high trust score. Apologies, it takes a few seconds because we are running this on our local and image. I hope you understand that it takes some time to analyze. What we've also done is we have given system prompt, plus we've also done a few shot prompting so that we are training the model to recognize that these are real images, these are genuine, and these are fraudulent images. So it takes some bit of time to analyze all of those images and give us a response. So this is a high trusted customer. So ideally we should get, hey, your refund is approved. I will also show what happens when a low trusted customer gives the same image or a different image as well, for that matter. Now it's taking a few minutes. few seconds, probably. Until then, I can show other things as well. So like I said, I mean, we created for the prototype, we just created a small database, or in our code itself, we told that, hey, these are your customer list and these are based on your based on their past orders, what is the refund and so on. And we've given a detailed system instruction. We've also trained the model with some few genuine and few fraudulent images. Okay, now the decision is ready. Okay, I think this kind of hallucinated. Apologies for that. It has given a lower risk score, but it has escalated to human. So if you can see, it says that image shows a plastic container filled with noodles. The food appears to be well prepared. Oh, it doesn't, it's not identifying spillage. I'm not sure why this happened. But ideally, in all my previous trials, it had said that, okay, the food was spilled and it had given, a very low risk score. Here, I think it kind of hallucinated and said, hey, escalate it to human.
Yeah, but I think
I can.
it is hallucinating, or the image identification is ambiguous, right? Then there is a fallback to escalate to human so that we don't compromise on the user experience.
Exactly. I can also take another, my food is smashed or something. This is for a burger. Yeah. For a highly trusted customer, we are not rejecting it directly. We've explicitly told the model that, hey, if the trust score is high for the customer, ensure that, at least escalate it to human. But for a low trust score, we've ensured that, okay, if the image and the behavior is matching, then go ahead and reject the refund for this particular customer. Given the short of time, I'll skip drift modeling. We've also tried drift modeling where, we have trained the model specifically with Italian and Chinese cuisine. Sorry, this has given the
Sorry to
output.
stop you there, Shilpa. Your time is up. You can have another 30 seconds.
Can I take?
And brief.
Okay. So here, I think it has correctly said that the food was smashed and approved the refund based on the high trust score of the customer. So I'll quickly go through what I wanted to present. Models used, I think I mentioned, we've used Llama 3.2 Vision. We've also done some bit of benchmarking as well. We've run it on Llama 3.2 Vision. We've also done some bit of benchmarking with Gemma, whether whatever Llama 3.2 Vision, whatever it had given, is it right or not? So we've done benchmarking with Gemma. We've also tried multiple like experiments as well. We tried with Llama Vision, we tried with Sonnet. Sonnet, the only problem was that we're running out of tokens. Otherwise, for productionizing, our plan is to use Claude Sonnet only. We've tried just the system prompt and QShop prompting. Finally, we are using a combination of both. We also tried adjusting some of the hyperparameters as well. Our deployment or productionizing plan is to use Claude, the latest version of Claude, but it comes at a cost. So we've tried to analyze the cost. What is the cost benefit analysis is also something that we've done. In spite of the high cost of Claude, it is still better to use Claude since it is easier for us to host it directly on their servers. So yeah, that was about Refund Guard AI. It's a predictable, it's a multimodal eye for food delivery fraud. It does a holistic verification and it is engineered for consistency.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shilpa. Shreya, sir, over to you. You can ask the feedback and you can ask questions to them. And then you can give the scores as well.
Okay, where do I give the score? Just orally?
Orally, sir.
Okay. I think looking at the parameters, right? So I would like to understand, how did you validate the performance of the vision model?
Sorry, performance of the vision model. You mean the speed of the vision model?
We spoke about hallucination aspects, right? I would like to understand your testing process. How did you approach this?
So we, initially, once our professor taught us the different models. We tried with multiple models. We tried with Gemma, Gemma 4, Gemma 3, Llama Vision 3.2 plus Sonnet. I think Sonnet, given their pricing strategy for prototyping, it was very expensive. That's why we wanted to go ahead with one of the open source models, either Gemma 3 or Llama Vision 3.2. For us, performance-wise, when we tried between the two, Llama Vision 3.2 was giving higher performance and was hallucinating lesser compared to Gemma 3. Gemma 4 is more recent, so we haven't tried extensively with Gemma 4. Between Gemma 3 and Llama 3.2 Vision, the performance was better for
Understood.
Llama 3.2.
Yeah,
Understood.
Harsha, I just want to add, right, so what Shilpa said, so when I was trying on using Claude, right, Sonnet, so it was, in the terms of giving the prototypes and images, it was really good, but I actually ran short of the tokens. So that's the reason why we thought that, in the terms of production, we might be using Sonnet in the future, but for MVP purpose, we'll be sticking onto this model.
Okay, understood. You also mentioned about photo spoofing, right? Now, what approach did you take for photo spoofing? You specifically mentioned that. So I'm trying to understand, how do you differentiate between just a vision model validation versus photo spoofing?
Sure. Yeah, maybe I can cover that. I think this was part of our future roadmap, not the immediate roadmap. And right now, I think we've just researched in terms of what does the future roadmap look like and what will be the inputs, right? So like, for example, there are three kinds of frauds that we see. One is a circulated image, right? Where the same image is circulated by multiple people because it is available on Telegram channels. Second is an AI generated image. And third is where somebody has spoofed the image, right? Maybe added a hair to the food, etc. Right? Circulated image. The research that we have done is that we can use p-hash, where we add a unique identifier to every image, and if the same unique identifier appears in another image submitted by another customer, that is when you can flag a circulated image, right? For photo spoofing, I think there are models which exist which analyze the consistency of the image in terms of lighting, etc., right? Yeah, Shilpa.
I think this is a future
Correct. It's a
roadmap
feature
item,
roadmap.
so I think we can park it. It's okay.
We can also use EXIF. I mean, if you have taken it on a phone.
Yeah, EXIF you will not get for all the images. That's the trick on internet. I mean, that's sensitive. You cannot keep it as well. But how did you generate the synthetic data?
So we ran, we wrote a script and we generated it using Google AI Studio and Gemini itself. Basically, I
To
have a
generate the
script.
images.
Yes, to generate the images also.
Okay.
We downloaded few from the web. A few of them we generated it using Gemini itself. We wrote a script for mocking the customer complaint and generating
See,
images.
when Rohan said, I am going to identify the AI generated images, right? Now, the approach to that is still not clear. Like, how are you going to do it? Are you going to just look at the image and find out whether this is a AI generated one? Is there going to be, like Gemini does that, right? It embeds the sort of a code in the images. But what if somebody uploads something that doesn't have that? Like, there are ways to bypass that because we are in the early stages of all this. It's easy to hack, but that is not yet clear. Okay. Okay, you mentioned about trustworthiness of a customer. You must have really come up with an approach to identify what is the score for this. Like, how do you justify between customer trustworthiness, like 20 versus 80?
So basically, just to add, Harsha, so I think one of the ideas we thought it would be a good way to approach is when I have a set of customers, right? So I will have in my pool that number of customers, the number of orders that they have been placing it frequently, right? What is the number of refunds they have asked for the past? So I will have that in my database, correct? So the number of claims that is being made for each of those customers and the average of the order value per customer. So I will actually track for each of these customers so that I get a good historical tracking from the tracking purposes. I'll have some idea, right? So that could be used as a baseline.
Yeah, I think others products, platforms also pretty much do the same thing. So there are, like, I think 7 sections now, problem statement and AI product vision. So I don't know, is this like Rohan is just sorry, Rohan, Aditya. So I just give like a score out of 5. That's it for each of the section.
Yes. Overall, you will be considering and giving them out of 5.
Okay, I thought we will have another Slido for us. That would be much better. So in terms of the problem statement and predictive AI product vision, problem statement was clear. The predictive AI product vision, you told me what what is being developed right now, or what is the current solution, but you didn't tell me what you will add in the future, because there are some gaps I saw. So I would sort of keep it around 3 out of 5 for that. And customer and business context uh, is more like a persona, the target user context, and how you can enhance that. So this somewhere around 3 out of 5. And the synthetic data generation and AI validation, specifically, since we did not see that in the slides or speak about it in the whole presentation, and I had to ask about it explicitly. So I'm going to give 2 out of 5 for that. And experiment and design model selection, 4 out of 5. And prototype demonstration, 3 out of 5. Deployment and adaptation strategy, I did not see how you're going to scale this, like how you going to ensure switching between models is easier. That aspect did not come. And especially after you deploy, how you're going to monitor the drifting, all that did not come. So I'm going to give 1 out of 5 for that. The overall presentation could have been much better. The slides I see are more like a static images. Honestly, I've been with IPL. I completed an MBA here as well. So I went through the whole thing. So it could have been done much better. So that's 3 out of 5 for the presentation.
Okay, so now I would like to clear this, sir. So you will be concluding everything, all the points, and will you be able to give them the score out of 5, concluding everything?
Okay, that's tough. I think next time do Slido, please,
Sure.
for this. Yeah.
No, we do have Slido that is for the viewers.
Yeah, for us, it's much easier, because if I ask Prapti how she's going to do, I don't know. So I think I would just keep it at 3 out of 5 now.
Okay.
Just
Okay,
maybe
sir.
average it out.
Yes, Prapti?
I was saying maybe just we'll have to average it out.
Okay. Yes. So over to you now. You can give the scores and feedback for our team.
Sure. I think Harsha covered a lot of questions that even I had, like few points which were not clear. I still like want to clarify more around certain things which I am not able to understand or like which were not covered. So, like, how do you check for the AI generated images, or if the images are not from the internet? Like, how are you training the model for that? Because your training data itself is generated by Gemini. And are there like specific, do you have like a AI guard, or in general, what we call guardrails in the AI world? Do we have a guardrail model for that, like specifically filtering out AI images, web generated images, or screenshots? What are the parameters that you guys are using?
So for the prototype, we used AI generated images, Prapti. The idea is to use real customer images, like whatever we have taken on the phone and uploaded. So the idea is to use that, but just for prototype purposes is what we had to download from the
Which
internet.
is fair in that case. Like, what's your vision around what are the what are at least top 4-5 parameters that you wish to like check for as guardrails as part of this activity, like so that we can ensure the images which the customers are uploading are not fake or XYZ things.
Okay.
I think Rohan mentioned that. Probably Rohan, you can.
Yeah, so I think, see, the current prototype covers one use case, right? Which is whether the consumer description matches with the image, right? Marry that with customer profile and then generate a risk score and deny or accept refunds. Then the future roadmap we set will be 2 or 3-fold, right? One, if there are circulated images for which, so prototype doesn't cover it. This is the future roadmap, right? Where the parameter that we plan to use is p hash, where we give a unique identifier to every image. And the next set of images that come, if they match with the unique identifier of the already existing images in the database, we know that this is a circulated image. AI generated images is not covered in the prototype. It's part of our future roadmap. There, while we have not really perfected or experimented that, EXIF was our initial plan, right? And finally, the idea was that over a period of time, can we move to videos instead of images? Because videos will be more harder to spoof and generate via AI, right? So that's the plan in terms of future. But current prototype covers consumer description, matching with the images, validating with customer profile, and generating a risk score.
Fair enough, but then don't you think that that's going to be the biggest risk? Like, since AI is so readily available, people can generate just whatever image they want. So
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if we have this product which works very well, this is going to be the biggest risk factor, and like it could become a adoption challenge.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely. I think, see, fraud may be like good 10-15%, right? Of the AI generated images itself is 10-15%, right? But you have a large majority of the refunds where people try to game the system by giving a certain description and giving a certain image, right? And at times they don't match, right? Plus the consumer profile. So yes, while what you're saying is right, that AI generated images, given the current scenario, might snowball and become a very big part of the problem. But currently in the prototype, we have not covered, but we've thought about it and genuinely made it part of our future roadmap. But yeah, you are absolutely right. It can snowball
Sure.
and become a very big component of overall fraud.
Sure. Second question is again around models. You did answer that question, like what are the like how did you compare the models? My question is like what were the parameters? Like was it specifically based on the use case? Because when we are trying to compare models, there are hundreds of models out there now, and then based on our use case, we need to prioritize. Like, do we want to prioritize accuracy over speed? Cost is more important. Like for example, security related use cases, there you don't want to mess with the accuracy of the model. Rather, you just want to go ahead with like whatever cost it is. Sometimes you need speed over accuracy or cost. So what are the parameters that you took for this use case, and how does it like relate to the use case?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So
Prapti,
when
could
you
you?
were comparing the models, what were the different parameters you were comparing the models on, like accuracy, cost? Yeah.
So
So
cost versus accuracy was our major concern for the prototype, Prapti. But like Chirashri was saying, for the productionizing and for future perspective, we might, you know, it might be performance, the speed and the accuracy, which might be more of a consideration for us. Right now, for prototype, we have made sure that the cost stays minimal since we were playing around with a lot of it and testing with
Which is
images.
which
We
is
didn't
like
want
for
to
the
snowball.
prototype, it is fair. Like, but I'm asking
Yes.
more on the vision side for the product. Like, since this is obviously a prototype, you don't want to spend a lot of tokens, and you want to consider the cost. But what is your vision around the parameters that you want to consider?
so
Then accuracy definitely, right?
yeah. So basically,
Since it is,
yeah. Sorry.
I,
So
I,
if, go ahead.
I'll complete Chirashri, I'll complete my thoughts. It is definitely accuracy since this is not a customer facing app directly, it's more for the internal trust teams. I think performance is not a huge concern for us. Cost would definitely be a major concern, but I think accuracy is more important for the
How
long term
about
vision.
latency? Because if this is like a real-time chain, and if your agent takes a lot of time to respond, the customer would churn, right? So how about speed?
So that's where actually, Pratik, we just add on to what Shilpa was mentioning. So we were thinking about in terms of when we go into production, right? So definitely Claude would, Sonnet would be a preferred over model because there the latency, the speed within which I get the output, right, is much higher as compared to, Olama, any other open source models, correct? So that is definitely in our vision that over, over a period of time, as we, expand a product from an MVP into full-blown product, our parameters would be definitely speed would be important, which will be paramount to us, and definitely latency as well, like the point that you rightly mentioned, right? But the time the model is generating the output versus what the customer is actually entering the data, right? So in keeping that in mind, future, these are the two parameters we definitely want to cooperate with Claude Sonnet's model. Yeah.
Sounds good. In that case, also another follow-up question, like, do you plan to use just one model, or do you want to create like a multi-model setup? Because some models are doing better for a certain use case, like just identifying if it's a fake image or not, versus some are very good with identifying if it's a spilled Fanta or something.
Right. So I think the preference would be for the models, Prapti, in the future, right? We would want to go for those models which would cater to multimodal cases, right? So because here it could be both text and images as well. So the preference would be over those kind of models. But then definitely, even if I have, let's say, 5 models which are catering to that, right? Whichever gives me the number of which has more billion parameters, right? In terms of parameters, I'll take into consideration the parameters aspect, and of course the corresponding cost that's being tied to it is what that's going to take a decision.
Fair enough. Okay. You also did mention that you've trained the model on like Chinese and climate cuisine. So I wasn't able to get that point. Like, why is the model trained on specific cuisine? Like, what's the hypothesis over there?
I mean, we have basically for prototyping, we've used both system prompting and few shot prompting. Few shot prompting essentially in the sense that you give that, hey, these are the set of genuine images. And these are the set of fraud images. So we want to further train the model. We've seen that the mixed combination of system prompt and few shot prompting was
Which
getting.
is fair, but
Yes.
I'm asking like why should we make it cuisine specific? Like, wouldn't it be better to have a more generic like cohort of images?
That's again for the performance sake. Since it is images, it was taking a lot of time if we are training with hundreds of images. So we had to keep it a little specific. So for the prototype, initially we had used Chinese and Italian cuisine. And we've also seen a drift with that if you're uploading a dosa, it says it is pizza. Right, it was not even able to recognize a dosa because it was considering it as a pizza. But the idea is that we enhance it further in the future with Indian cuisine as well.
Okay. I think this is an important question, maybe like a miss on my side, but I'm not very clear on this part. Like, do you envision this as a standalone platform which you want to sell as like a B2B integration to different users, or how do you plan to launch it? Like, what's the GPM for this?
Yeah, so I think, see, our point of view was that while this is targeted towards one single company and internal use, but going forward, right, given that one just has to, let's say, circulate the image via us, right, and we will have capability to identify circulated images by virtue of being a marketplace, right, plus let's say the model that we develop to identify AI generated images, spoof, etc., right? So this can very well become a horizontal that can be industry-wide thing. Like, for example, Sheet is used for fraud prevention, right? To identify whether people have fraud apps and have done fraud on other platforms. So similarly, an equivalent here will be whether this image is fraud or not, right? Versus a customer who's fraud or not. So it can very
I
well
think
be a
the USP would be like once your model is so smart and so trained, others will want to buy instead of building their own. So
correct.
That's when we can probably we can sell it as a standalone product in terms of the GTM strategy, right? So initially it would be part of the core, the standard offering that we have.
Makes sense. Final question, important one. How do you plan to evaluate this? Like, how are the AI evals going to be run? You can just help with a few parameters because, like, if as a team or as an organization, if you're selling this, how do I trust before deploying this? Like, what are the different parameters you're evaluating this
on? So as of now, we've only seen, I mean, we've tried it on one model and tested it with another model and also human in the loop. We've also double checked the output that has come that is being given by Llama 3.2 by ourselves. I mean, we've picked like 5 to 10% is typically what we always need human intervention, right? We still need to look at the images, look at the output given by the model and see whether it has given it right or not. But to identify drift and everything, whatever is being tested by Llama, whatever has been checked by Llama, we are validating it against Gemma. And we are seeing how many are true positive, true negatives. We've also seen what is the precision, what is the recall score and everything. That's something I think we've run our benchmarking script as well. And we are trying to see it, every day to make sure that there isn't a drift.
So essentially, it's the accuracy, like factual accuracy, and then like on the quality of responses, because you did have like a lot of output parameters. So that is something you'll have to evaluate again, like the quality of responses and.
Yes.
Okay. I think
And just one of the good practices also to have, let's say, 5% leakage where the same audit is done or the validation is done by humans, so that we can also tie the thread there apart from, let's say, relying on just pure evals.
I mean, yeah, manual evals is always the way to go forward, like to begin with, and then you can rely on LLM judges.
Correct.
Yeah, I think I'm done with my questions. Should I just like read out my scores or?
Yes.
Okay. Problem statement and predictive AI product.
You need not want to read out the scores for each parameter. You can just make it overall score and you can score them out of 5.
Oh, let me just in that case. I'll get it done. Like, do I round it off?
No, not necessary.
It's 2.7.
Okay, thank you so much. Now it's time for audience to give the scores for team one. Hope you are able to see my screen. Hello.
Visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now I would request everyone to scan the QR code which is there on the screen, and you can give your valuable votes to team one, Chirashri, Rohan, and Shilpa. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, that's the score for team one from the viewers. And now team two, Yamini and Krishna. Yamini, you there?
Yes, I am. Thank
Okay.
you, Aditya. Hello. Hello, everyone. Let me quickly share my screen to present.
Okay, so you will be having 10 minutes of time,
Yes.
and the 7th minute, I'll give you a heads up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me know if you are seeing my screen quickly.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity, everyone.
Sorry to stop you there. You
Yeah.
can put this in presentation mode so that it will be easy for
Yes,
the
yes.
viewers.
Sorry for that.
Perfect.
Is it visible now clearly?
No, it did not turn to slide mode, I believe.
Correct. Is it now?
Yes, no, it is.
Okay.
You can
Thank
start
you.
here. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Today I'm presenting the predictive AI solution for RFQ, transforming the RFQ efficiency. So we are leveraging the predictive AI for enhanced seller success here. Uh, and to improve this RFQ to order conversion in B2B marketplaces, instead of sellers responding blindly, we help them prioritize high value opportunities. So, in the market context, let me go to the next slide. Yeah. In the market context, B2B marketplaces like India Mart, Udan, and similar apps, they operate at massive scale, like millions of buyers and RFQs come up. So, but the key business driver is RFQ to order conversion here. So, we have identified the gap where even a small improvement in conversion directly impacts GMV. And here we identified the problem is, on average, sellers receive 70 plus RFQs, but they respond less than 50 usually. So, why this is happening? Because they cannot distinguish serious buyers and low intent ones. So, here this leads to wasted effort of identifying each and every RFQ and delay in responses, and here the revenue is getting leaked. So, we have come up with the solution. Here we have come up with the solution. We have of a predictive AI based prioritization system. It predicts the probability of an RFQ converting into an order. So to explain in a simple way, it uses signals like buyer credibility or buyer rank, category matched or not, and the buyer intent, whether he is a serious buyer or not. Here it transforms RFQs from a volume problem into a prioritization problem that helps the sellers to respond to the RFQs of serious buyers, and which leads to the revenue. So this is a simple but which generates makes a huge impact on the revenue. So here if yeah, here let me come up with the model explanation what we have, how we have implemented this. We used a gradient boosting model by assembling of decision trees. So it learns, the gradient booster learns the non-linear relations here. So we have opted this one, and it learns from past RFQs and identify the patterns that lead to successful orders. So here the supervised learning happens, and the output score we have defined like 0 to 100 score. Out of 100, if uh, seller sees that it is 97, 85, at least based on that, the seller can respond to the RFQ and make the conversion. And so here the explainability via future importance, we are also explaining the seller. We have given the feature importance here while implementing, and based on that the seller can read, not like hallucination, not blindly trust our 97% or 87%. They can also get the points why this score has happened. So this captures complex relationships between buyer behavior and seller success. So uh, and again, coming back to why we choose this, because marketplace behavior is nonlinear, as we all know. So simple models cannot capture interactions like higher buyer trust plus good category match. For example, if the buyer has a good rank but the RFQ's qualities are very low, that such combinations might happen. So to capture all those and learn out of it, we have choose this gradient boosting, where it is widely used in such nonlinear solutions in market. So let me come up with the next slide. It's a tech stack which we used here is for POC. We used the same the tech stack what we have given here, and we designed this to integrate without changing existing systems. So like we did not change in our view, we don't want to change the marketplace apps like Udan or India Mart or something, Trade India, like that, but we want to give this capability of score the RFQ scores. So we have utilized this tech stack now. And yeah, coming to the solution demo. Um, Let me explain you the demonstrate how we have developed it. Um, so orally, like how it works from seller perspective. Let me tell you, imagine a seller logs into platform, and he received 5 RFQs today. So today all RFQs look equal, but in reality what happens is not all buyers are serious. So one RFQ is from a high trust buyer with clear requirements, everything, but another is a vague but with no details, and seller doesn't know whether he has to respond to that or not. See today, for example, I'm giving 5 new RFQs, but the business will be happening in business, the RFQ list will be very huge, so they cannot identify the high trust buyers and respond to them. So here, uh, the the engine, the application, what we have, the solution what we have come up with. As soon as RFQs arrive into the seller board, deal score evaluates whatever the predictive AI solution what we have developed, evaluates each one. It analyzes buyer history, RFQ quality, and seller capability. So this assign a conversion probability score. So now it shows the score of each beside each and every RFQ, like RFQ1 is 85, high
Yamini,
likelihood.
you have
Sorry.
3 more minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. So the system also explain why. Not only it just give the score, it also explain why. For example, this RFQ scored high because buyer has strong conversion history, detailed requirement with attachments or something extra information, and good category match. So the seller does not need to think on it, and he can read it, and he can understand the reasoning, so he can act upon it. So here the shifts behavior from reactive to strategic, for the seller's side. So now the business impact for this is the same effort now generates more orders. Even today also the sellers will act upon 10 RFQs, but not in a prioritized way. They do not know who is the serious one. So here in the marketplace at scale, this solution improves platform GMV, seller retention, and buyer satisfaction. So let me move to next slide. Yeah, here we have a monitoring strategy we have come up with. So AI is not one time. We continuously monitor it. Accuracy, are predictions correct? And top 20 precision are best RFQs actually converting or not, and the feature drift is happening or not, has buyer behavior changed or not. Such things we will be monitoring so far. That was the plan. And let me move to another slide. The rollout, we start with high volume sellers, they benefit the most. So then we expand gradually using a phased rollout with adoption rate, response time improvement, customer satisfaction, and all. So we measure the behavioral changes, not just model accuracy. Based on that, we will be rolling out on this. So the risks so far we have identified for this, latency, data load, and accuracy drift. So external could be the seller trust. So trust is the bigger risk what we see. Without adoption, AI has no value today. Latency, data load, and accuracy drifts, we have a plan of mitigating such things. And seller trust also we have to, based on our roadmap, we are planning to achieve this. And if you see our roadmap, yeah, firstly we have come up with the POC, which is validate to give it to the sellers and bring up the trust of them. And then we do the A/B testing of enhanced features. Today we are taking 3 or 4 features, but we have a list of features which we have identified to optimize or to improve the application.
Yamini, your
Sorry.
time is up. You can take another
Thank you.
30 seconds to brief
Sure.
your project.
Sure. So later we optimize for the personalization and revenue optimization part. So here we also implemented the GenAI role, where this acted as a co-pilot, helping with data generation, synthetic data, and feature design and validation. So all outputs were validated manually. Only the data generations and the feature designs were taken help from the GenAI here. Yeah, thank you. Any questions so far? Thank you.
Okay. Prati, you want to go first or?
You
That's
can
fine.
start,
You
sir.
can start.
Yeah.
Okay. Yamini, I would like to know if you were building a prototype or the slides were the only like final outcome.
Yeah, to be sincere, yeah, we have developed a POC, but right now I'm in travel, so I have taken mm, the laptop of somebody and I'm just presenting it. So I couldn't show you the working prototype, but yeah, we have it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is a machine learning approach that you're taking, right? So um, how did you lock on to this model, which is the gradient boosting? Like, did you compare other models than picking this? How did you arrive at that?
Yeah, firstly, we have taken the linear regression, but we have compared the feature importance values for that and gradient boosting thing. When we are comparing that value scores of each feature, it is giving best result, and the outstanding score is coming only for the gradient booster. And while learning, we have also understood that yes, whatever the problem statement we have taken is not a linear. Today, the best performing buyer might not perform tomorrow. So this is not a linear part where gradient booster will handle such situations with larger volumes of data. We have come up, we understood that, and we have utilized this. We did not come directly to gradient booster, but out of few trials and all, we have come up to that
Okay.
point.
And you mentioned that the training data will be based on the POC RFQs that will be collected.
Correct.
But how do you test that now? Like, did you generate the synthetic data?
Yes, we have generated the synthetic data, and we have PG admin PostgreSQL we have taken, and not like synthetic data directly grabbing. We have created few tables out of it. Even in tables also we have taken the synthetic data, but based on the relations among the tables, how the real world works, we have simulated that and we have worked on it. Yeah.
Okay, what do you do when the data is like missing parameters, like say unstructured or
Hmm.
empty areas in the document?
In the document, yeah, as I said, we have features. We have taken the buyer ranking firstly based on, because in real world today, the buyer ranking and the profiling is the first thing we have to take up, because the prime users or the prime buyers who paid buyers has to be taken into the consideration first, right? So in such a way, if no data, yeah, we are not taking them. But if the tag is there that premium buyers or premium users like that, yeah, that also we are considering. If no data, yeah, we are not counting that for today. Uh, yeah, for now we are doing that.
No, I still
Currently.
didn't understand the premium buyer aspect. So we were talking about the RFQ, right? When you say RFQ, it could be in a form, it could be a document, it could be in the tables. So what if
Correct.
the data is missing is what the question.
Okay. Um Yeah, the prime buyer and all, yeah, you can forget about it for now. I understand your question. If we don't have the trusted data in our this thing, yeah, today, yeah, we are missing it out. We are missing it out to capture. If that will come under 67% or 50% only for now. So yeah, we in the optimization part we will take up that.
Got
For
it.
now, we are not.
You are saying buyer quality. You're going to define a score for the buyer on what
Yes.
basis?
As I said, now I'll tell you the premium buyer. See, the gold membership and it is going on in the markets today. So, if the gold membership was taken to that particular buyer one, okay, we will take the priority. That priority will be added to some score, like 50%. He will get the score credit to reach on the top prediction score. So even though that gold buyer is not doing the good revenue, or good RFQs are not coming, quality RFQs are not coming, yeah, but still we will give them in the 97%. But we will give the reasoning below. He is a gold premium buyer, and RFQ quality is low, and this person has these things are, we are also giving the explanation why we have given that score. So as a seller, if I go there, I can read that explanations why this person has 97% score, whether he is having the good RFQ quality, good history of conversions, and the score, everything that based on that the seller can act upon it. So we are also introducing such human in loop intervention also, in such a way, not directly going because he is 97%, we cannot, seller need not opt for that and respond to him. Based on the understanding only, he can respond.
Understood. And did we speak about deployment strategy? Like, because I did not see a prototype, and how do you plan to deploy this and scale it?
Right now, we did not plan for that
Okay.
currently. We are in POC, and firstly, we just wanted to, as a learning only, we have developed this today. Okay, we have to come up with that strategy and all.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to average. Give me a minute. I'm just re-looking at the scores. I'm leaving prototype as 0, 1.7 overall.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you provide any suggestions, are also welcome.
Okay, I'm sorry. See the slide part. Yeah, I did really look at the slides. They were really basic, and I think it put you probably from napkin. But the slides is where you speak sort of very less, and then the slides will do more talking. So in that way, I mean, you would have already received the document which covers the sections, right? It's much easier to cover in the slides than you explaining and then me asking the question. So it's more like before I ask, everything is present there. I think I believe in the slides more than talking out later. That's the feedback. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bhakti ma'am, over to you.
Sure. Since the prototype is not present, could you just elaborate more on what exactly the product is? Like, what do you plan to hand over to the users? Like, how can I, as a user, use this tech?
Okay. Yeah. To this is just like a plugin part. Okay, we will give only one one label there. If you go to India Mart or any other, when you are giving the score as a seller from seller side, he can see the list of RFQs. Today I have quotations. I have asked how much do you quote for this 100 handbags? I want 100 quantity, like that. Such things will come to sellers hundreds in a day. So, for if I log in as a seller, I'll get a list of RFQ
Queries.
quotations. So, in that, we will give one more label in the table or however it goes on the UI, that 97% or 25%. If person hover on that, the seller hover on it, why this 97% has come here, he can understand, and he will respond to that on the same row. Okay, it works like that. So this is just a small impact changing label. That's it, we wanted to present there, which improves the revenue more, rather than wasting the time in uh, not working RFQs. They can work upon the working RFQs, and they can generate the GMV revenue and improve the GMV in the marketplace. So that's a simple thing, but making the big impact. That's it.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. I think that's a good strategy. Following up on that, being like playing the devil's advocate over here, why would someone like IndiaMart come to you and not develop it in-house since they have all the data already and like models are anyways readily available?
Correct.
So
So we are implementing this for small scale businesses. Okay, where for them also the small scale industries or the business partners, they have uh, the similar apps. So we just wanted to go there and sell it to them.
no,
This was
so
the idea. Yeah.
are you saying like these apps are in-house developed by those SMEs or they must be using some software, right? Like they won't have built tech in-house.
Which apps you mean, Prapti?
Like when you said like these guys are using apps, so my understanding is like even uh
Correct.
resellers today use Misho or something like so there's like a large app which everyone is using, which is
Yes,
like
yes, I'll tell you. These are the bigger apps. Actually, we have identified a small scale businesses. They don't go to India Mart or something else because they are huge paid, very much bigger paid. So there
correct.
are few. I cannot give the names now because I totally forgot the names
No,
of
no,
that.
that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are few apps where those apps are working upon the building the catalogs for small scale businesses and all. Such apps are there. So this predictive AI solution what we have are for them today. If we add them, yeah, that will be giving boosting up their revenues now. So for
So
such things, yes.
still like I'm not able to understand, are these apps then used by IndiaMart? Like how do you connect the end seller to the user? Like how is that happening? So are these small apps that you're talking about, are they connected to large sellers like Amazon or something, or people
No, no,
just
they
directly
those are
go?
not about the large sellers. Amazon for them, they all automatically they might have such things, but we did not think about the bigger things. But the smaller apps who are dealing with the small scale businesses. Okay, we would like to try this with them to boost up their revenue. And we don't need to go directly to the business B2B sellers. We can directly go to such apps who are generating, and we can give this to them. And for they will directly collaborate with the business, right? Sellers and
Fair enough.
buyers. So it,
Fair
it
enough.
is
Yeah,
in
like
that
the
case.
only confusion
Like
was
if we
like,
if we see, yeah, for bigger, if we see, yes, we go to India Mart, we go to Amazon, we go to Udan, like that. If we are thinking of a big thing, bigger
yeah, the only
area.
confusion was like, do these smaller apps even have that capability to integrate with such platforms? And
Correct,
so
correct.
that is where I was coming from.
No,
No,
no.
fair enough. I'll also just total my scores and average it out in a moment. The total is 1.8.
Thank you, Prapti. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I think adding to Harsha's point, like slides do speak louder, like whenever if you're trying to present to leadership or anything, like I think slides speak before you do. So that's very important. You could just make it more visual and more just understanding. You should like leadership is usually someone which has like very macro context. So people just see and be able to get a context. I think there could be more clarity around the product. I think technically, if you just try to rate it as a technical presentation versus product, I think technically it was very deep, like well explained solution and everything. But product wise, I think the focus should be more on users and problem statement, which I think was lacking. So that is something we could, yeah, but technically it was really good.
Thank you. And thanks for bearing. Actually, as I told, I'm on travel actually. So I have come up with like this for now. Okay. Thank you for that.
No worries. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prapti and Prashant sir. So let me share my screen. Is it visible? And I would request everyone to scan this QR code and give your scores for Yam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for juries taking your time and being here in today's Skillathon. Once again, uh, we are very much happy to have you in today's Skillathon. And
No
I thought
worries.
it's
It was a
four
pleasure.
teams.
yes, sir. Actually, there was three teams, and one unfortunately had some emergency and could not show up.
Okay.
So we are done for today, and here is a small certification of appreciation from IPL on the behalf of IPL to Sri Harsha sir. Would you like to say a few words on your experience today?
Frankly, this is my first Skillathon with IPL, and I completed my EMBA around Jan 2026, and I started around 2024. So I know how it goes. I know how important it is for the alumni. But I think the AI as a whole was picked up this year in the curriculum, and I see good movement. I think thanks to Sai for sort of kicking off this. Um, I um, I mean, I sort of was able to connect with the alumni, and especially the ML related challenge was sort of very accurate and sort of meaningful when you take the use case. That's about it.
Thank you so much, sir. And we also have a appreciation certificate for Prapti Jain. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aditya. I think it was a pleasure being here, looking at what people have built. And like, since you're obviously like at work, you're just building things, but then you also see how people are trying to use these technologies. So it's like truly fresh to see this. And also like when you've been building in AI for some time, you tend to have like a bias towards saying like, oh, this goes without saying, oh, this goes. They just expected to know. That's what happens at work also. I'm just, oh, you're just expected to know this, right? So that's like a bias which is always there. But when you hear fresh perspectives, when you see like people building things, then you realize, okay, this is like not lot of things are not just they can't go without saying. So yeah, that's a very interesting thing to learn.
I hope you have enjoyed the presentation from the teams.
Congrats to all the teams as well for putting in all the hard work.
Yes. So now we have this is time to announce winner. I know this Skillathon was very short with having two teams, or else it would go beyond 6 p.m. as well. at times. But thank you so much, teams, for all your hard work and presentation. And hope you have also got wonderful feedback from the juries, and where you can see your product in much more deeper than what you were working so far, and got some insights from them. It is really wonderful to have juries who are presently working as a product leaders. So to get an insight from them, it is a really a very wonderful thing to be. And so the winner is it's a clear win, that is Chirishri, Shilpa, and Rohan. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Aditya, Prapti, and Sriharsha. Thank you so much for the wonderful insights you've shared in our session.
Sorry to interrupt, but we are not able to see you on the camera.
Yeah, sorry, Aditya, I think I have a bandwidth issue. Sorry.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Prapti and Sriharsha, for providing us some wonderful insights. It has been a great learning journey so far. And since, like this happens for me, this happens to be one of the first trainings that I've taken with, with Institute of Product Leadership for on AI side. And great to hear from you, both from, perspectives from both of you as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And I'll be sharing you the certificates via email soon. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend.
And keep learning. Thank you.
And keep learning. Thank you. Bye-bye.